I'm sitting here with Forever Starts Today, and I just want to go around and everyone just please give me your name and what you do.
Hey guys, I'm Christina and I sing.
I'm Troy and I play guitar.
I'm Kyle and I play bass.
I'm Nick and I play the drums.
Hey, I'm Nathan and I play electric guitar.
Nathan's asleep.
He has a similar voice to Christina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get it mixed up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounded cool. So, could you guys just give me a background of your band? How did you form? What kind of brought you guys together? How'd you all meet?
Probably start with you.
Yeah.
So, Forever Starts Today originally was a solo project of mine, and I brought Nathan on, our electric guitar player. And then I eventually wanted to just change it into like a full band kind of deal, and so we changed the name to Forever Starts Today and just started working more as like a whole unit, and Troy came on, and then Kyle, and we have Nick now as our newest member.
Cool. How long has Nick been in?
Since
August?
No, like October. No, like late. I guess early September. I guess. When was the show in San Antonio? Because that was like.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just say long enough. To the point where he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like 6 months.
Yeah, it's been like 6 months. We brought him on right before we went into the studio to record a new record.
So you said you were you just kind of started up a solo project and then slowly brought everyone in. What is the most that influenced you to write? And then just as you guys start bringing in members, what kind of influences all of you as well?
A lot of the music that I listened to growing up, like in high school, was really influential to me. I think the same for everybody else as well. But a lot of the bands that I listen to now, I love, and I also, lyrically, I do kind of like to keep like a positive spin on a lot of things. So I do like to write about like struggles, but how people can overcome them, and then also just like singing about fun things, hanging out with friends. But essentially, I want all the lyrics to be very relatable and to help people. That's primarily what I want to do through music, is to help people and make them smile. If we're on stage and we're jamming out and I see people like laughing and smiling and clapping along, then that's what I want for our music, is just to bring joy to other people.
Yeah. Can you run the question by me one more time? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Just what it really influenced you.
What influence? Yeah.
To play, to pick up, to write.
Yeah, so for me personally, I've kind of always been infatuated with playing music. Just from a really early age, like from the time I could walk, I'd pull down microphones and climb up on piano benches. And in particular, I'd always kind of found an attraction to the guitar. And after I'd started playing guitar because I'd wanted to, I'd been interested in it for a while, but after seeing Green Day perform on their American Idiot tour back in 2005, I was like, holy crap, I need to get up on a stage and play some music in front of people. And so Green Day was a very early influence of mine. Right now I'm influenced a lot by our friends in the scene. Like, I warn people, whoever gets in my car, we're probably listening to one of our friends who just.
I think we listen to more local bands than the big guys, to be honest.
Absolutely, we're in such a talented part of Texas, and we've got so many incredibly talented friends that it's so easy. The music's so accessible. Just be like, hey, like, not only am I supporting my buddies, but like it's also good music to listen to. Like, I don't feel like pressured into listening to them. I just listen to them because I want to, because it's good music.
Yeah. Based off what you just said about the accessibility of music, do you think streaming services like Spotify and Bandcamp have, made it easier for you all to reach more people, or made it more difficult? Or made it more difficult because the market's so oversaturated?
Well, that's actually a very interesting question. I think the accessibility has definitely increased because people look for excuses to not pay for music now. And so with something like Spotify, even if you're not paying for the Spotify premium service, it's super easy to be like, hey, like, go onto this one app that you probably already have on your phone and check us out totally for free.
Yeah.
And
It's only $11 a month.
yeah, and so like,
It's so worth it.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. and so it's super easy because you also have to deal with people like I used to be one of these people. I still kind of am one of these people. I listen to a lot of music. Like I've got a bunch of music, and so like my phone would like reach capacity with a lot of the music I would just have stored on it. And so to be able to use Spotify, people are more inclined, I think, to check out these newer bands, these bands that they haven't heard of, or bands that get recommended because they know, like, okay, well, I can go check them out and download them or whatever, and I don't have to worry about taking up space on my phone or paying for anything or going onto YouTube and not being able to, like, text my friend back in the process.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree because that's what I do. I use Spotify,
Yeah.
and if I like it, I'll go actually buy the record.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Thank you for supporting music.
Yeah. Well, my shelf doesn't like my support.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, like my wife took a picture of before we bought the house because we had to get a new cabinet because we had all the vinyl, and we had to like get a cabinet of. She took a picture before and after because I asked her if she thought I had a problem. She took a show, and it's increased by 100%.
Good.
in a year. In a year.
That's a good problem.
Yeah.
I support that addiction.
Yeah, right. So, I 100% agree. I'm one of those people that I've had Spotify Premium for like a year and a half, 2 years now, and that's makes it so easy. Too.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to commute for an hour and a half, and it just like Queen all the way through,
Yeah.
in a week, like their whole discography in a week.
That rules.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. You all do have you do have a Bandcamp page. I mean, have you seen a lot of success in that, or I know it's more of a platform to sell your music as well as streaming. I mean, do you really focus on releasing hard copies, like CDs and vinyl, or do you just kind of more focus on Bandcamp for your sales?
We do have a Bandcamp. I don't really promote it much because we have an official website, which I would prefer people to go to. They can stream the music off of our official website, foreverstartstoday.net. That's kind of like a one-stop shop. Like we have our bio, we have our shows there listed. We have pictures. We have a contact page that anybody can reach us, and we have links to our Twitter, Facebook, everything on our official website. So while we have Bandcamp, I don't really promote it too much.
We rely on the MySpace a lot.
Was that 2006 again?
Tumblr, Zynga.
Next to Zynga.
Friendster.
Dude, if you have yours, we have ours.
I had a Friendster. Kind of give me a it's like kind of, I guess, more of a ballpark of just like your songwriting process. What you go through, what you do.
So, well,
I thought he wasn't allowed to talk.
Do we want to start from the very beginning?
I don't know, this latest album, like, we all wrote, but, like, I live with Troy, so a lot of the time we'd be like, hey, you want to just track and get some tacos and just see what we come up with? And it was coming to the point where we were writing, like, I don't know, 3 songs or 4 songs a week, and then we'd take a few hours to mix and master them, and then before we knew it, we had, like, a full length written in less than like 7 months. So our EP came out last March. So a year from that, we're gonna have a full length coming out. So I think that's kind of cool to have like an EP and then a year later you have a full length. So it's just like, we have the music written, we send it to everybody to put their input on it, and we send it to Christina. She'd write the lyrics and then we just jammed it out in practice. And it was just basically this album was fueled by 2 things. Topo Chico and Torchy's Tacos. And yes, we are looking for an endorsement, so I'm laying that on real thick. And also our latest promos, Troy's wearing a Topo shirt, so we're like dead serious with this whole endorsement thing. We don't want music for music equipment, we just want Torchy's and Topo.
So Torchy's the trailer park trashy or classy?
Yeah, Baja Shrimp, homie.
Chicken fajita.
If I do the trailer
That
park,
is good though. I'll give you credit on that.
Yeah.
The best taco is the taco of the month for March. It's the Roscoe. I could eat that like every day for the rest of my life and be satisfied.
Really?
It's breakfast
The
taco.
Roscoe.
Best thing ever. You should look it up.
Just in case anyone from Torchy's is listening to this. Yeah.
Forever starts
My
today.
address is.
replug the website.
Yeah.
I'll tag them on the site
There
so
we
see
go.
if they'll see
we're
me
gonna
back.
thank
Like,
them in our liner
Yeah.
notes for the new record.
Yeah.
So,
You get all the cred.
So I'll skip ahead since you already mentioned the new record. That was my last question.
I
So,
got ESPN.
yeah, right. So new record. When's it coming out?
That's a good question.
So
Spring.
it's
It's summer.
it's gonna be more than likely a summer release. We've got a few things that are kind of holding us up from talking about that too much right now. Just some things we have in the works, and I don't want to spoil anything or potentially upset anybody. But right now, as of today, we are looking at like a midsummer release for the full length that we're
nice.
putting out. Again, depending on what happens these next couple months, that could change.
Like push it back further or bring it
It's kind of if it's not going to be midsummer, it would be out of our hands in terms of when it gets released. I'll put it that way. I don't know if I can comment.
Yeah, that's we're shooting for summer.
in? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Cool.
Couple months. We're excited.
All right.
We still
nice.
need to get the tracks back.
Yes.
How many tracks is it gonna be? Can you answer?
Yeah, it's going to be an 11-song full length.
Full length.
Yeah.
10 electric, 1 acoustic.
Here's another sidetrack that. So speaking of like album tracks, I've kind of noticed in the past 3 or 4 years maybe that it's shifting to more of that, less of that album structure, you know, because originally back in like the 70s when people were really recording music, you had vinyl, so you had a definitive length you could
Right.
record on, or
Right.
CD, cassette tape, 8-track, you had a definitive amount, so you had your album. And especially with vinyl, I just recently learned this, that when recording vinyl, the reason that a lot of those albums have more of the softer ballads toward the end and the middle of the song is because the grooves become thinner.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I just learned that because a buddy of mine just pressed on vinyl. So you have those ballads because it's, it sounds better, the softer ballads.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my question is like, has, like the progression of technology, like again, Spotify, Bandcamp, and all those streaming services, has it really impacted you on like, am I doing an album or am I just doing a 7-track album, EP, LP, SP? It's like, does that really impact that anymore? Or
Like, I don't know. My opinion on that is we just want to write as much as we can. And if we have like, 5 songs, we'll do an EP. If we can write 20, full length. Like, there's no limitation on it. It's just how much we can get out in the right amount of time. And then if everyone agrees on it, then we'll just do whatever. We're not like just being like, let's do an EP or let's do a full length. Let's do whatever we want.
so do whatever you have.
Yeah, so to kind of support that, when Kyle and I really started writing for this record, this new one, like you said, we were cranking out like 3-4 songs a week, and to kind of add to what he said, it's not, hey, let's write as many songs as we can and put those out. It's okay, we've written 20 songs. How many of these don't suck?
That's what I meant
Yeah,
to say.
yeah.
So like,
I wanted to see if he would say that.
Yeah.
So that
was
was
testing me.
I was testing him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so like we ended up writing a whole bunch of songs. I mean, there were some that got written that didn't make the record. There were some that never got past the instrumental stage. Like we just had them to Christina. There's one in particular I'd still like to use one of these days, but it was just like, she couldn't find her groove with the song, which is fine. Like that's gonna happen when you're cranking out a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so it just kind of depends, like how much we're writing, the quality of what we're writing, because we noticed. I don't know. This might sound a little pompous.
Nah.
When Kyle and I started writing the stuff we were coming up with, we were like, this is pretty good. Like this is on a new level from what our EP was, and so we kind of had these moments where we'd finish a song and be like, man, this is gonna be the single off the new record, and then we write another song. No, this one's gonna be the single. And so each time we kind of set this bar for ourselves for where we needed all the songs to be for us to even consider putting it on the record, and I hope that gets communicated when we finally get to put everything out, because we're pretty proud of this. I think we did a pretty good job. Our producer Joe Milligan, who engineered the record, produced the record, over at Orb Studios did an absolutely incredible job.
He always does.
He's such a pleasure to work with. His track record working, in Amberlin, with all the incredible producers and engineers they got to work with. He really brings just a lifetime of knowledge to the table, and we're just so incredibly fortunate to have somebody like that in our corner.
He also has some really good Katy Perry stories. I'll leave it at that. The only way to hear them is if you sign a contract and work with him, and you'll definitely want to hear these stories.
It's worth the Katy Perry stories alone, but you'll get a cool record out of it too.
Yeah.
So
You pay for the Katy Perry stories, and like the bonus is like, oh, by the way,
it's
here's
like-
a record. Here's a record.
It's like your songs are gonna sound awesome, but hey, here's a Katy Perry story that will live with you forever, and it's true. So,
Huh.
Yeah.
Let's turn the recorder off for a minute.
we'll be here all day.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Sorry, that was a big sidetrack too. But so, what is your all's favorite song to play
Right now, I guess.
right now?
Off the new record,
Or
the old
any
stuff.
period. Just
Um,
anything.
The anthem.
Cover Good Charlotte.
I think my favorite song right now is gonna be one off of the new album. It's called Optimist, and we just started playing it live, and it's just a really hard-hitting, strong song. So I'm excited for when people start to learn the words to that, because
Yeah.
that's gonna be a sick one live.
to not copy Christina, because Optimist is probably my favorite song on our new record.
We're
So
about
that's-
to record a music video for it.
We are.
Oh, nice.
We are Easter weekend. We're gonna be filming a music video for that song.
Oh, nice.
I don't. To not copy what Christina said about Optimist, I would probably say a song off our new record called "Last One Standing" is a lot of fun to play. We have a guest vocal from one of our good friends on that song, and so whenever he's in attendance, he jumps up on stage, and it's a good grand old time that we have with him.
I'm gonna be different. Gonna have an old song to say "Catch Me If You Can," just because, like, before I joined them or knew who they were, I heard that song. I was like, "This is pretty good. Like, who is it?" And I found it was a local band, and then I was like, "Cool." When I got to learn, I was like, "This is my jam." So whenever we play it live, I go a little harder, even though I'm like old as hell. So like, yeah, I don't know. I like the lyrics, and it gets stuck in your head, and it's fun to play. So
How old are you?
28.
He's about to be 29.
But I got like the mentality of like a 16-year-old, but the body of like a god.
Well, this is being recorded and not videoed, so
Hashtag Planet Fitness.
yeah. More sponsorship.
That's right.
Yeah.
Me.
You can still go with the anthem if you'd like.
No.
Yeah, you can copy. You
No, I'd say Limitless, which is the title track off the EP, because that was the first song that I learned by them. Troy sent me all the stuff. I was supposed to fill in for them with a show in Dallas, but it got canceled. But he still sent me all the stuff, so I still learned it, and that was the first song that I just kind of ran through. And whenever I first listened to everything, I was like, I'm going to learn this one first because it sounds awesome.
Nice.
That is true. Nick was going to fill in for us in a Dallas show, and then he moved to Austin.
And then he really filled in.
And then I got stuck here.
And
Like, we
it's
didn't
never
tell him
ended.
he was officially in the band for like a whole month after we'd already decided. We're like, no, it's cool. We're just gonna make sure we kind of keep him in purgatory.
Then we got our recording, mixing, and mastering bill, and we're like, Nick,
You are officially in the band.
are you still down with this?
You need to be in the band.
That's actually the truth. Too.
It was timing. It wasn't all because we're broke musicians and we'd love a fifth person filling in for finances.
I guess if you never really give them an option, then you can never say no if you never ask them.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Cool. So this is another sidetrack. What kind of stack? I guess for you two, what kind of stacks you guys play with?
Oh, like
guitar?
gear-wise?
Yeah, like what's your guitar? Yeah, what's
Oh
your
yeah. Okay. So I actually know all of Nate's gear too.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So I'll fill all that in. I guess starting with Nate, he plays an Ibanez Prestige, series. And the head that he uses is PRS Archon 50 watt, running into a Black Star 412 cab. On his pedal board, he's got a Phase 90, a carbon copy, noise suppressor. I feel like there's another one.
I think it's blue.
It is blue. I can't remember which one it is.
We'll just call it the blue pedal that makes your stuff sound really good.
Yeah. So that's what he plays through. He uses those little stubby Jazz 3 type picks too. My rig, I'm a sponsored artist for Moniker Guitars based out of Austin here. So I play a Moniker carved top Reedsdale, which is like their Les Paul model.
Oh, nice.
That's loaded with the JB Jazz humbucker set. And then I actually run a AXFX2, Fractal Audio AXFX2, which is, if you're not familiar with it, is a preamp, amp modeling. Christina's very sneaky with Snapchat.
I'm Snapchatting
I just
on
got
the
it
band!
back. I just got you back.
I was trying to Snapchat on the band. Don't interrupt the interview.
Yeah, so it's a guitar preamp amp modeler, and so in my patch that I run for live situations, I use a orange Rockford 50.
Oh, nice.
And a matchless. I forget which model it is, but a matchless for my clean tone. And to me, it just made sense because to buy the orange and the matchless would cost more than buying the AXFX. So that makes things super easy. That's also super convenient for demoing and recording stuff because I can just plug it straight into my computer and it sounds like a real guitar amp in a studio. You can change the microphone on the cab because they've got cab simulators. But live, I run through a Crown XLS 1500 power amp into a divided by 13 412 cab. And I use a Behringer FCB 1010 with the Eureka Prom 3 mod. I'm a gear nerd. I'm so sorry.
Basically, what he's saying is our apartment, because we have to have homeowners insurance because of all the gear we have in there, we have our own personal guitar center.
Huh.
It's bad. We've got so much gear in our apartment. It's ugly.
And he only plays one guitar, but he has just
My apartment has 9 guitars.
just in like the back quarter of his apartment, he has like 12 guitars. He's got that PRS, the
Kiesel, 2 Strats.
This is why we can't give out our address.
Unless you're a favor driver and want to bring us Tiff Streets.
Yeah.
Or
Or
Michi.
Torchies.
Or
Torchies.
Or
shout out Michi
or
Ramen.
Michi's. Or Michi.
So they really like food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
What's
of
your
us like
rig,
music,
Kyle?
but
Go ahead and so I don't have to explain.
I played
it.
through a MacBook Pro.
We have a running joke that Kyle's backtracked because we use backing tracks live. Kyle isn't backtracked.
he is not. So if you ever hear us joking about that,
It's a-
clarification.
Jokes, people, jokes.
So for the head, it's a Mesa Boogie M6 carbine, and then for kind of like a dirty grit, I use a Sansamp rack mount. I don't know the model number, but it sounds really good. And then I use a Ford 10 Ampeg cab. And then for my bass, I have it's a Sterling Sub. It's like a cheap bass guitar, but I modded it, so I put like a really nice pickup in it, a new nut and input jack. So it's a $300 bass, but it sounds like a $1,200 bass, and it's really light and it looks good. So that's really all that matters. And that's all my gear, which is not much, but I make it work.
Nice.
Shout out to Jess from Straight Music for being one of the best guitar techs in Austin for taking care of our guitars.
Yeah, she makes all our stuff sound really good whenever we buy something new. Like as soon as we buy a new guitar, we take it right to her to like pimp it out and stuff.
Cool. Cool. So I guess my last question, it's kind of a broad question. It's just, future plans from here on out. I guess aside from the album, mainly just including any tour dates. I know you guys tour around just like the local area, anything national, or, anything outside of Texas.
Well, I guess right now we're trying to make a push to play Warped Tour.
Oh, nice.
The San Antonio date, I believe.
Yeah, it's. I'm trying to get somebody to go with me to that.
Yeah, us too.
You can
Yeah.
go with us
Yeah.
if you give me.
Guest list.
So
Okay.
like if you want to check our page out, hopefully, depending on how the next few months go during the competition, we'll actually be able to post some teasers of some new songs up on there.
Yeah.
So if you want to help us out with that, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's like a competition where you have to.
Yeah. So the way it works is like for each video play and like each follower you get on the page and each share of the link, you get a point. And where it's differentiated the last couple years versus years before is as long as you're in the top 100 for that venue, you go to a judges panel. So as long as the people who support us and care about us and want to help us can help us stay in the top 100, that's all we can really ask for. And from there, it's just kind of up to us to make sure we've got the content and the marketability, I guess, for the judges to pick us. So.
Well, this year's really, I mean, the lineup's very split down the middle because
Mhm.
there's a lot of older bands, which I'm really excited for, and
Yeah.
a lot of.
All that matters is
Yeah.
that Beartooth is playing, and that's it.
You just see
That's
Bear
all
She
that-
again.
That's all that
Bare Tooth
matters.
and Neck Deep.
Yes.
Those
Ataris.
That's like our top two
Right?
favorites.
Right?
You can help us by going to that website I mentioned earlier, foreverstartstoday.net.
Plug it in.
Yes.
Keep plugging. I'll sandwich it around.
Yeah. So we'll have something there that you can go to get on the Warped Tour page to help us out and play that. But to answer your question earlier, we have been talking with some people about doing some shows outside of Texas, and that's a possibility. We don't have any dates right now. We have a lot going on with getting this album out. But stay in touch on our Facebook. Give us a like. Check us out on that website and keep posted for the shows because we are going to get out of Texas pretty soon.
We've got some stuff that we're working on again, middle of the summer. Don't want to go into that too much. If things work out, it's going to be tight. But yeah, we've got a lot of really awesome stuff in the works that we've been really excited about for a while, and a lot of it's going to be coming up in the next few months into the summer. So as long as you pay attention to our social media, you will absolutely not miss any of this because as much as we dislike the Facebook algorithm, all of these are going to be like sponsored posts.
Yeah.
And so
So if you like us, you'll probably see it.
yeah.
Stay on that MySpace top 8.
Yeah.
Guess I'll have to switch you over.
Lots of big stuff. I don't want to throw the tour word around, but we're working on some cool stuff for the summer.
Cool. That's all I have. If there's anything else you guys want to
Any lightning round questions for us?
lightning round.
So other than that, like us on Facebook, check us out on YouTube, all the interwebs, MySpace, as Kyle was
Follow
saying.
us on Spotify. That
Yeah.
helps us.
Oh
a lot.
yeah, yeah. And we hope to see you guys at a show sometime soon.
Nice.